into the conversation that we kind of had last night, bringing Jay into this about, you mentioned funding, you mentioned getting your business right, and we're all in real estate, but we're business owners,
right?
And many times we're focused on the production, the activity, the service, and not so much on getting our business building down pat. And we may have all started businesses. We don't know what a DUNS number is. We don't know this. We don't know that. Credit, business credit. Why is that important? I'm using my home address for my business. Red flag. You know, there's certain things that we have to really go back to the basics, because we just fast track, did the fast track on business because we wanted to serve people,
right?
But we didn't know what we didn't know. So kind of walk us through what might we be missing as realtors, staging companies, short-term rental, investors. I'm just going to pass the mic and y'all go.
So one thing, do you look good on paper? How do you look on paper? And let me ask you, nothing but business owners in here. If you have less than 500 employees, did you go after the EIDL this year?
Yes.
Thank you.
Should have been a lot more yeses.
Should have been a lot more yeses. There's $2 million. There's $2 million sitting out there in EIDL right now.
Per person.
Per entity. Emergency
Wait, what?
injury disaster loan. It's meant for the small business owner, less than 500 employees. There's $2 million on the table. $2 million. One of the people on Clubhouse, we're not bragging about it, we're just trying to tell people. So I'll put it to you this way. There's $250,000 sitting on the table for me. Well, no, I'll be getting it here in a few days. Do you understand what I'm saying? Some of those people that were in those top 5 groups, or top 5, there's $1 million to $2 million sitting on the table for you. They're disaster loans. They're going at 3.25 interest rate over 30 years. And they announced it the other day. By the way, they're pushing it out now to make the payment back in 2025. They want you to get successful. People are going, why would they do that? The government needs to take money and put it back into the economy. What better to do it than the small business owner, not the big Fortune 500s. They're the ones that are killing us right now. EIDL people. Text me if you want to know. 2020, they started in 2020. It grew in 2021. Oh, let's up that a little bit. Let's go to $250,000. $250,000 in at the beginning of 2021. Let's take it up. September 8th, $500,000. No, wait a minute. That's the new $2 million, right? Yep. Sorry, it increased so much. Now, if you get the EIDL before 12/31/2021, you're going to get it again in January 2022, and you're going to get asked to try to go for it again in 2023.
But just know that the EIDL is nothing new, because most of you just heard this for the first time, correct? The EIDL, Economic Injury Disaster Loan, is a small business association product that's been around for years. Every natural disaster, Hurricane Katrina, civil unrest, wildfires in California, every economic injury disaster that happens to the country has a disaster number. And if your business is affected by that disaster, the government they supply loans, very favorable loans to those businesses. So if you're affected by Hurricane Harvey and COVID, well, there's 2. And why does the government do that? Because the government does not do the work. Private industry does the work. So, for example, with the Afghan refugees that are coming to the U.S., they need short-term rental space. There's 4,000 refugees coming to Texas. Now, no matter what your political affiliation or how you feel about it emotionally, I'm an economics person. I like to make money. So as all of the women in the room, are you a minority-owned business? Do you have your DUNS number, which is a registration number for your business? And if you have a few other things, business plans and numbers that I showed you earlier, you can effectively run your business and attract those refugees and house them with a government contract for 9 months. That's kind of like free cash flow. That's just one opportunity. For those of you with empty warehouses, there's healthcare companies who need to store their products in your warehouses. You can have a government contract for that. I can't really, there's not enough time in the day for me to just go down the list of opportunities for women in business. Kamala Harris and the head of the SBA spoke on this highly about a few months ago, giving women in business access to capital and business opportunities. They've been screaming it. I can't scream that loud. I'm just a country boy from Louisiana, but I get around people who can speak loud enough for me to get the message out. So women-owned small business, Latino, African-American, LGBT, all those are minority certification classes that are not being filled. So if the small business community doesn't get those fundings and opportunities, they're going to push it to big business. So when the news hits and people are upset because big business is getting this money, it's because small business has not brought that in. So my job is just the guy behind the scenes. I'm like the wizard behind the curtain. I just make it work. I get you structured properly. I make sure that you have your certifications. Money is not an issue. I can get funding with my eyes closed. That's not the issue. Not the issue. The issue is just getting you in position so you can take advantage of said opportunity. And the real estate market is huge because it's not enough small businesses taking advantage of the real estate market from the government themselves. Again, the government just presents the opportunity within the economy. Small businesses create the structure for that to happen.
Two things I want you to know what he just said. Two things. Imagine this, okay? Imagine if you had $100,000 or $200,000 set aside, given to you from the government. By the way, the guidelines are so simple. To get it, it's so simple. You'll kick yourself because you hadn't done it yet. So imagine putting $100,000 to $200,000 aside, and the money you're making from your business, that's what you take and grow your business. This money over here, it's operating your business because that's what the government wants you to do. I want you to pay your rent, your mortgage. I want you to pay your light bill. I want you to pay, what do? You're a realtor. I want you to put 4 new tires on your car, get your oil changed. Are you with me? What does it take to run your business? That's what you do with this money. This money over here that you've made with your business, that's where you go take that money. Who was it? Elena that said, store it, invest it, right? So now this money over here is flourishing because you've already earned this, but this right here is running your business. You're not having to touch this money to run your business. Imagine you stagers. Yeah. Imagine filling up 40 homes for the military because they have people coming in on assignment for a year.
Yep.
And they're going to pay you, and they're going to we'll give you a $4 million contract, fill up so many homes, hire who you need, and then keep the rest for yourself. That is exactly how it works.
Yeah, okay.
Expand your brain, expand your mind, man. It's so much money.
So all of you who are stagers really need to have 3 companies.